Hey, Miss Cole. This is Michael Leslie with my weekly practicum video. This week for the counseling practicum, we met at the South Nolan offices with Brady Daniel and Monica. I think it was Pastor Monica Brown. I think was her last name. Came and spoke to us. She's with the Freedom Ministry or the Freedom Department at Gateway. She talked to us about the addiction recovery groups that they have, which I think it is. I don't remember the names of them. Anyways, there's one for women and there's one for men. The one for men is for men that are addicted to pornography or have a sexual addiction, and then the one for women are the the if women have a sexual addiction as well, but it's also for like the wives or significant others of the spouse that is addicted. So we talked about that and how transformative that group has been in the last few years. But she talked about the anatomy of a stronghold and how, which is what they teach at Gateway. When an event happens and you believe a lie about that event, and by believing that lie, a defense rises up, and then you create a response for that defense, and it's just a circle. It just keeps going on and on. So we talked about that and how that starts with pornography. And Monica had said that almost all addictions usually come in twos. So it might be alcoholism and pornography, or whatever it might be, alcoholism and adultery, or whatever it is, sexual addiction. But that most addictions come in twos, and so they try to attack when they figure out what one is. They try to figure out what the other one is as well. She talked about how creating a noose of addiction, and how that starts with a soul wound, which leads to shame, which leads to binging, denial, and then delusion. So, like, something might have happened when you were 12, and that changed your life forever, right? You might have dealt with abuse at the age of 12, and when you dealt with that abuse, that you stopped maturing at that point in that whatever that area of your life was, and you took that little 12-year-old self and you put it on a shelf, and then you kept growing. And so you might be 24, but when that authoritative type figure comes up, you go back to that 12-year-old that's on the shelf. And so she was saying there's a lot of adults that act like children in that sense, and it's not necessarily that they're being immature. It's that they don't know. They never dealt with that 12-year-old situation. But once they deal with that healing can come. We talked about left brain and right brain and how that affects a lot of addictions. Yeah, that's pretty much that. She gave us this thing called the feeling wheel. That was pretty dope. It's just very in depth on the let me see right here. It's very in depth on the specific emotions that you're feeling. So like if you're like, oh, this, what you just said makes me feel embarrassed. And if you're embarrassed, you're probably anxious, which is actually a byproduct of you being scared. But so she gave us that. That was super cool. I'm gonna definitely keep that piece of paper for a long time. Hopefully my whole life. But anyways, and then Laura and I, my wife and I, did the healing rooms at Gateway as well. Got to serve there. That was just freaking awesome. I always love seeing the Lord heal and just be himself, because God's freaking dope like that. Yeah, I got the chance to pray for, I guess, I think it was 4 different people. A couple of them, one was a family the mom just found out she had cancer the day before. Came straight to the healing rooms. Got healing, or got prayed for healing, and so hopefully we hear a diagnosis pretty soon. Another one was a couple that was here from Los Angeles, and they were praying for their sister-in-law or sister that just got diagnosed the week before with breast cancer. Guy that's dealt with anxiety super bad, and then a kid that had um, hearing loss in his ear, and he got his hearing back. That was amazing. So um, yeah, so the healing rooms was awesome. I love that Gateway really has a heart for healing and just transforming people. So um, anyways, but that's that. So we'll meet this coming week on Wednesday. So looking forward to it. Anyways.